Hello, I'm here to talk today about uh, solid riches. So, when out solid riches, I mean like this, like a chain. It's like a expensive like jewelry and stuff. And when you have jewelry, you get excited over something like, but it's like almost nothing. It's just it looks like something looks fancy, and then it matches like your whole like personal design and stuff. And then after you look good in it. But if you get like a necklace and it wraps around your neck, it's kind of like, isn't that kind of like the worst jewelry ever? Like a necklace that is just around your neck. You have to with this. I always throw this little connector thing in the back, so it's like right here. So it's only the good part of chain showing. But then when you want to take it off, you have to go find it. And you get all like, you're like, oh, how do I take it off? And then you have to go to like a neighbor's house, and then you get them taken off. I don't know. And like um other jewelry is like kind of bad. It's like pierce your ears, and then you have a hole in your ear. um I still believe that there's a way to do without piercing, well, not piercing ears, just putting them on, and then after there's like there's a little spot where it connected, and then when you take it off, it just goes away after like a few seconds. You're like, oh yeah, that was nice earring time. uh I pierced both my ears once, but at home, and it hurt really bad. But I just wanted to have earrings. But then after like a year, I took them off, and then after the uh, the part where I pierced through to connect the little hoop thing on my ear, so it was, then that kind of grew, like went away. I didn't have any holes in my ears, so that's like that's like doing something impossible, and then after just getting rid of it. So like I didn't really like the earrings that much, and I don't know. If I wore them now, but I just have this long hair growing over. You can't even see the earrings unless I go like this or something. You can see my ears. I don't know. What other kinds of like rich stuff that it's like there? There's like all I can think of is like instruments, like a musical instrument, and it's kind of like rich, and then cool sound comes out, right? And you can be really good at it. But there's stuff like well, not just plastic items. Lots of this stuff's just plastic, like cell phones, and it's like made out of plastic, and just like might be like a little bit of metal in it, and like you would get, if you bought everything, you'd probably buy the same something. So if you just buy one thing, right, and it has like many uses, and it's like good for this, good for that, and that's all. And then another one might be also a little bit good for that, and so you're kind of like wasting your money. So like people just joke around, and what's getting tiresome is they use like they're like telling themselves that they're funny, and then after they're not funny, and something that they could have like solid riches is like um, it could be like a tooth filling, or up to like they have a brand new car, and um, they like when they're out of their car, they're all joking, right? And so it looks like they're getting nervous or something if they're joking after they get out of the car, and oh, I have a free time, let's joke around. And if you buy something and then you barely use it, that's like that's not quite a waste, but in fact it's like you're preparing yourself over and over again to see how you can use it in certain situations, and you just make good at using like solid like items that, well, everything's pretty much solid, isn't it? But but it's like fancy stuff. So that means instead of being only made out of plastic, it can be made out of anything, and just different types. And you like, if someone was rich, you think they'd like use their money for protection, like buy like a really thick shirt or something, or like pair of padded gloves so they don't wreck their hands and stuff. That's what I think would be the best, if you just bought stuff and then after you used it for when you need it. And people do that with jewelry, fancy ladies are like have all this big drawer full of jewelry, and then after they put the fancy ones when they're going somewhere fancy and some other stuff like that. So oh, edit, okay. So the main fact for this health talk was not to spend too much money on something, because it's not, unless it's like 100% for a good time. And some people buy stuff and then they just like, they just use it once and try and like learn off it. And so you have to like make sure that you're doing good as a person and you're doing good while using these solid items, because like everything has its pulse, I think I said before, and then not in this video, but it has like its own pulse and its own connections to fit together. And basically they're born, so solid riches are like, they were born too, right? Someone made them. So but they weren't really developed through pregnancy or something, so they're pretty fancy, eh? And it's just, don't try and copy people in any way, but if you get a good idea from just looking at something, that's a really good way to use other people's like solid riches to like make your own stuff, your own riches and stuff. So yeah. And there's lots of secrets, and just like how to treat your jewelry, like so no one would steal it, right? You don't want to make it look all too fancy and so shiny, and it's like, oh, this is the best one ever. Then people will be like, oh, that's the best one ever, I'm gonna go snatch it. And I hope the alarm doesn't go off and make loud noises, because they get scared. They're like, oh no, loud noises, and then they all like do damage on people and stuff, and they just like, yeah. So yeah, okay. So let it all go together and just use a bunch of them items. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about for this Ministry of Health. Okay, bye.